Hi everybody, so part 2, the cowl. So all I've done really is, let me take this off. So I've given this a good wire brush, but most importantly, these adjusters which hold this onto the top of the chimney. So basically I think you know you're going to get a build-up of soot in this slot, and down in this bit here the soot had got underneath this bar, probably because when it's tightened up it's lifted slightly, so the crap builds up under there. They were seized solid, so I'll put a nut on the end of here, tap that in, took the wing nut off, took that out, cleaned all the crap out of there. So you know that's a 5-minute job. Now you could if the oil bearing is gone in here, you can take that clip out of there, use some circlip pliers, so you can pop that out of there, probably knock that bearing out, knock it off the shaft, and I imagine that's probably a generic size there. You could quite easily get the bearing to match the shaft and the diameter of this. You know, this freeze is lovely and free, so I'm not going to worry too much about that. I'm going to smear some grease around that in a minute. Now this piece here that was on, I'm not even sure if that was meant to be on there because it's too slack. You know, you would think that if that cap was meant to be on there, it would be just bigger than the size of that, because that's just going to wobble around in there. I don't quite understand what the tape on there was all about. Maybe they'd built that out with tape. I don't quite understand it. So I've taken that off. In the bottom of the spinner itself, there was a little rubber in there which was split, and I haven't got anything that fits that. So what I've done is I found a washer which is the same size as that, which just supports that rubber washer, and acts as a spacer between this stainless and this casting on here. So it revolves. Let me just put the phone down for a second and put this back on. Okay, so I had made, I think in my other video, I had made a dragon. What it is if you look at the dragon chimney cowl, it's a wind direction thing. It's got like a vane on the top, so it turns the cowl into wind, and then on the front of here there's some like wind directors, and it increases your draw and blocks the wind from going down your chimney pot. But when I just sort of knocked it up, thought I'd give it a go, but it rattled, and the noise down the chimney, it was like there was a giant screaming down the chimney all night. So I took that off. And I think with any of these things, if you've got any oscillation or any noise, there's a couple of videos of these things on YouTube with the noise coming down the chimney. Now that is, although if you look on here there's a little bulge, I just tried to squash that in and it started catching on the casing here because of the bar that runs across. It doesn't give you much, you can't get it dead circular. You know, I have seen a couple of videos where these things have been pulled by excessive wind and they've bent the tops, but that is silent. So we can only stick it up on the chimney and see what happens. So what I'll do is I'll put this back together, get the ladders up, get this up on the chimney, and then I'll do you another video of it running with the smoke coming out, and I'll go indoors and see if you can hear any noise coming down the chimney. And our chimney stack goes up the back of the house, the 2 back bedrooms, and our bedroom is one of those. And my missus, she can hear everything. She can actually hear. In our house originally, there was a gas fire, and the flue goes up in the cavity. And obviously the pipe sticks out on the roof, and it hasn't got a cap on it. And she can actually hear water dripping down that pipe when we get bad rain. I've got to get up. That's another job, is to take that stack off of the roof. But our houses are so close together, it's hard to get the ladder up there. It's really steep because the fence panel's in the way. But that's what I'm up against, is that type of noise. If this starts humming, and that, you know, the noise is amplified by the chimney, it will be coming back off. So I'm just going to put that nut on there, and that'll be just finger tight, and I'll go and chuck it up on the roof and see what happens. See you guys.